Hello, this is H.G. Bailey, and welcome to the post-game of Let's Play The Four Heroes of Light. Since last time, I've made my way back to Liberté here because, well, I want to buy something from the multiplayer shop. Not that you have to, but I want to do it in order to unlock one of the job classes that I don't have yet. Now, I say that this is the post-game of the game, but you could do this during the main storyline without having a completed file yet. I simply did it this way because all of this stuff that I'm about to do is more difficult than what you would run into in the main storyline. Not all of it, but I mean, like, the enemies are going to be much higher leveled, and well, the bosses are pretty easy, but the final ones are even harder than Chaos. But alright, so we got the musician job class there. There's still a few more for us to unlock, but what I want to do now is I want to upgrade the Wayfarer crown for 2 of my party members to learn Escape. It costs 2 AP to use and guarantees you to run from battle, unlike the Runaway ability, which could potentially fail. The reason I want to do that is not so much because the enemies are that hard, or the random battles that you will encounter, but because the towers that we're going to be going to now take forever to get through without fighting every single random battle, let alone with it. So, yeah, just to save what little sanity I have left, I am just going to run from every single random encounter, so that way it doesn't take me like 10 hours to get through these dungeons or something. But anyway, okay, so from Horn here, we go north to find the first tower that we'll be going into. There were 4 of these all around the world, but we couldn't have gotten into them earlier in the plot. Well, not much, but you'll see. Oh, okay. Well, what that means is this dungeon is going to be kind of like the Chrysler building in Parasite Eve. And yeah, you can leave every 10 floors, just like the item world in the Disgaea games. So you can leave. There's going to be a warp point every 10th floor, and you can choose to leave and heal up, save, and then continue on. Or you could talk to this guy again. I think he says he can reset. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he can reset the entire dungeon so you can start from the bottom again, if you so choose. Like if you're trying to farm something like the challenge dungeons in the After Years. But anyway, okay, so you notice that door required the master's key, or the master key, that Roland gave us back at the Witch's Mansion there. So we could have done this as early as that point, but I don't think it's really needed, and it's, well, you'll see. But anyway, now I'm going to fast forward to get through it. I just basically want to show you, hey, here's how the dungeon works, but I'm going to cut out floors 1 through 9 every 10 floors after this, just to show you, because it's basically the same thing. They're all randomized. I don't think there's even a pattern to them like the Chrysler building, though. If there is, let me know, but I don't think so. I think the dungeons are basically pretty bland and randomly laid out. So basically what I'm trying to do in each of these floors is find the staircase that takes us to the next random floor, and so on and so forth. There are some chests that can randomly appear around here, kind of like the Ancient Cave in Lufia 2 there. And most of them don't contain anything that interesting, like a gold needle or a potion or whatever. But sometimes they can contain an elixir, and that can be really good. But it's so rare that I don't think it's worth going out of your way to try to find one in a chest. If you get one, great. But if you don't, I wouldn't worry about it. So anyway, let's see. Okay, so every 10th floor, sometimes they will have a boss. That's one of the things that you can potentially get. On the 10th floor, it's always a boss. So I want to switch to Bard and the Black Mage there. And I've already got my equipment set up, as I have listed in the video description there. I brought a whole bunch of potions along to heal up Jusqua for boss time. Because the Bard class has slightly more HP than the Wayfarer job class. Now, they're using the regular battle music pretty much because this really isn't quite a boss fight. I mean, it's tougher than the random battles, I guess, but they're still pretty easy to get through. But I just treat them as though they were a boss fight. Yeah, we could practically one-shot them. The bosses do get much tougher, but not right now. So now, once you defeat the boss, you get the warp point. You can get out of here to heal up and save, which is what I'm about to do. There's nothing on the 20th floor, just the warp point, and that's it. So I'll meet you on the 30th. Okay, we're on the 30th floor now, and, well, for boss time! I've already changed my setup to the way I had it for boss fights before. And this one is probably going to be about as easy as the last one. Well, I might not one-shot him, but still. But anyway, yeah, just set up your buffs as normal for all the boss fights. Let's see, this guy... Let's see, he is weak to water. So that's why I've got the Spring Gauntlets equipped on Brandt there, as well as the Water Tome, which I'm going to use with the Mystic Sword there. Let's see, by the way, Behemoth has no elemental weakness or resistances, so I'm not worried about it. Although the Demon Lord here is resistant to light and dark elemental stuff, but the Mystic Sword overwrites that, so that's not really a problem. And besides, Aire is still going to deal much of my damage anyway. But anyway, okay, yeah, now we should actually start using our physical attacks here. Maybe I should have started out with Ditty instead of Motet. Ah. Well, there, we got him. Hooray! But alright. Yeah, we don't really get a reward for killing the bosses other than the warp point to get out of here. So, I'll heal up and save and meet you at the next floor that actually has something. Okay, the 40th floor here. In each of these towers, these are the same, just the bosses and treasures and stuff are different. But anyway, so we get a shop that sells obscenely expensive equipment that really isn't that worthwhile. So, I never buy any of that stuff, but hey, if you want to, go nuts. But anyway, okay, let's get out of here and get up to the 50th floor then. Okay, this should be the last of the super easy fights for boss time against the Sand Devil. And once again, let's see, this guy is weak to water, but you don't need to cast water on it in order to, like, harden it like the first time we fought him. You can just basically fight this guy pretty normally. I figure, hey, let's use Magic Infuse while I still got the Psyched Up status there, and, yeah, go with Desolator there, and then after that, I will use the Mystic Sword, Water, and then attack him from there. The bosses do eventually get more challenging than this, if you even want to call them bosses. But there they are. That could I think that would inflict blind on you or something if you didn't have, like, ribbons equipped or the Shield of Light or whatever. So that's why I've got the Shield of Light on Brandt while I have him equipped with the Spring Gauntlets there. Because, well, yeah, blind would be a pretty big problem for him. But everyone else, not so much. I don't think it even affects magic. Not in this game, anyway. Alright, got him. You can stop now, Aire. Thank you. Yeah, and a lot of the bosses in these dungeons, they give you diamonds. So if you really want to upgrade your job classes, you can do that here. But yeah, let's get out of here. Okay, there was nothing on the 60th floor, but the 70th floor has a chest that'll contain a random piece of armor, kind of like the challenge dungeons in the After Years. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really care for the armor or unique stuff that you can get in the dungeons, but if you really want to get one of every item, well, you'd have to run it over and over and over again. But anyway, okay, so we got Bahamut, our first real boss of the towers that we got here. Let's see, he is resistant to light, which is why I'm using Magic Infuse instead of regularly attacking with him. He does not have any elemental weakness. Nothing we can do about that. Let's see, what else can he do? He can cast Banishka on us, which is why I've got the Holy Shields equipped. But I don't think we need Mysterio. Even though he also has, Fire Breath there. Not much I can do there, but Motet gets the job done, I think. He could also cast Flash, but we got resistance to all those status ailments, so we don't really need to worry about that. Eventually, I may have Yunita using Ether along the way. Yeah, now we're getting some real damage. Yeah, early on, without all the buffs set up, none of the bosses in the extra dungeons here, none of them really have obscenely high stats. I mean, Mammon was pretty much as tough as it got. I mean, the bosses here do get a little tougher as far as, stats go and stuff like that. And by the way, just to give you an example of how tough they can get, the final boss of each tower on the 100th floor, they're all level 99. So those guys can take a while, but fortunately, we got a reward that will help us with that. The Orihalcon there. So once you get that, you always win it from the boss on the 80th floor of each tower. So let's take that back to Urbeth and see if they can do something with that. Oh, I might want to get my map open. Yeah, now this is why I've saved I kept on using Jusqua as a merchant during the main storyline, even though I didn't need to upgrade my armor anymore, or equipment at all, for after, before fighting Chaos and everything. But anyway, so once you get a piece of Orihalcon, you bring it to the blacksmith here, and you'll see what it does. But you can put it to use, and increases the level, or the maximum level of all your equipment, not just one. When I first played the game, I thought it only worked on one piece of equipment, and I thought it really sucked. But in another test run, I found out they were pretty good. So anyway, what you got here, you upgrade your weapons just the same as before, but now, once you get beyond level 10, you need more gems. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of farming to upgrade my equipment all the way. But can we take on the Lord of the Tower? Find out next time on Let's Play the 4 Heroes of Light. This is H.C. Bailey, signing off. Have a good day.